Welcome to Real Estate 360, an informative and engaging hour discussing everything you need to know about the world of real estate. Your host, Tom K. Wilson, will provide you with insight and guidance on how to buy, sell, finance, and invest in real estate. He also offers real estate tax management strategies, new construction advice, home improvement tips, and much, much more. Now, here's your host for Real Estate 360, Tom K. Wilson.
Well, welcome to the Real Estate 360 program, your number one source for all of your real estate needs here in the Bay Area, where we provide you with the information that you need to make the best fact-based decisions. By popular demand, Real Estate 360 has grown from once a week to 5 days a week. So we're now on at Monday through Friday. At 3 o'clock, and we invite you to join us each day. We have a different host each day that has a different level of area of expertise, so we give you a lot more breadth of education, and I'm very pleased and honored to be your Wednesday host. Today we're going to talk about a topic that people often don't want to talk about, but they know they need. And hopefully we can encourage you to explore it more. And that is planning your business and writing a business plan. Now, this is certainly a topic that we tend to put off because it takes some work. But, you don't have to have a whole 2-inch thick business plan like a new startup company presenting to a venture capitalist does. Just a short outline can sometimes help you improve your business. At the end of the day, I'm going to give you one of Tom's top tips, and I'm going to start off with a quote I ran across the other day, which is appropriate for today's subject. It's from Lester Biddle, famous writer at the early part of last century. He says, "Good plans shape good decisions. That's why good planning helps to make elusive dreams come true." And I can't resist sharing with you the famous portion from Alice in Wonderland that Lewis Carroll wrote when Alice runs across the Cheshire Cat, and Alice says, "Would you tell me which direction I ought to go from here?" "That depends a good deal on where you want to get to," said the cat. "I really don't care where," replied Alice. "Then it doesn't matter much which way you go," said the cat. And such it is with planning your business. If you don't have a plan, you don't have a goal, then it'll just meander along, and years will go past, and you wonder why it didn't do better or went in a different direction than you wanted it to go. It may surprise you to learn that 99% of all employers in the United States are small businesses. And you may think, well, I don't have a dry cleaning business or I don't have a startup company, but even if you aren't self-employed and don't have a commodity or service-oriented business, if you have real estate investing or investments, or you're considering doing that, if you treat that as a business, then you will tend to get more results and better results. So I encourage you, even if you have just long-term holds and you're growing that investment arena, treat it like a business. Make sure you have a plan. Remember, plans don't have to be rigid and forever. A plan is a baseline, and you should be reviewing it annually. But if circumstances change sooner than that, then indeed, go ahead and update it. There are 27 million small businesses in the United States, and the net new jobs created by small businesses on the average over the last several years has been 64% of all the jobs. So it's not mostly General Motors and Hewlett-Packard and Google and so forth. It's really small businesses. And if you accumulate a number of properties and they're producing some income, that's a pretty good business. If you're a flipper and doing a few per year, that's a pretty good-sized business. Do you know that most of those businesses, most of those small businesses are less than $1 million a year? $1 million is a pretty high threshold for most small businesses. And of course, if you're dealing with real estate, and especially in the coastal cities and here in California, It doesn't take very long to get up to that level. Indeed, startup companies and new small businesses have been on the decline, as you would expect during this economic downturn. But last 3 years has pretty well flattened out. So hopefully, if things keep going in the direction they're headed, we'll start to see an increase in that. So why plan? We plan to maximize the probability of success of our business. And one of the reasons that some businesses fail is because they don't do much planning. And for just to give you an idea of success rates, 30% of all new businesses fail within 2 years. 50% fail within 5 years. Startup companies, high tech in Silicon Valley, most people outside the Silicon Valley arena, outside the state, think that anybody is involved with a startup company in Silicon Valley is probably gets very wealthy and is very successful. It turns out only 1 in 10 hit a home run. Ask any venture capitalist in company in Silicon Valley. And by the way, I have been in Silicon Valley 43 years, did 30 years managing high-tech companies, and have a number of friends that became angel investors, entrepreneurs, starting many companies, and also became partners in venture capital firms. So some of my input that I'm sharing with you has come from those experiences and knowledge I've gained from talking to others. I'm certainly not a professor at Stanford or Santa Clara University or Berkeley on planning real estate or planning business, but I have been an officer in 3 different companies, and we certainly had to write a business plan. And if no other reason, it helps you to get financing. But what's the most important reason? The most important reason for getting a plan in place is because it forces you to think it through. It forces you to get specific with your goals and your strategies and priorities, set your financial goals, and indeed, when you need financing, and most businesses do if they want to grow, it's a vehicle for obtaining that. But the most important reader of the financial plan is whom? Yourself, the writer. Because when you have when you go through the thought process of deciding what your goals are and how to get there, and you have to commit it to paper, it just forces you to think about it in a way that gets your thinking succinct and gets you really focused on quantitative goals and not just, I want my business to do better. All the legs are required to hold up a table or stool. And, I was when I was in high tech, ran across a number of engineers who were pretty frustrated and angry at times because they'd have a great idea, they felt, and their company took it and developed it, and they made a lot of money, and they felt like, my gosh, why does the company get all that money and I don't? And, of course, an idea is one of the important elements, but there are many others. That product has to be developed, has to be financed, has to be managed, has to be marketed, and all of those elements, any one of those legs missing on that stool or table, and it won't be successful. So any company that's growing and successful is taken on risk and has put all of those elements together to make it successful. So what are some of the elements in developing a business plan? Well, you have a vision, a mission statement. Define the products and services. What's the market analysis? What kind of marketing you're going to do? What's your strategy? What are the operations aspects? And what are the financials and financial goals? So let's walk through some of these elements, and we can define each of these and give some more specifics. And by the way, if I've given this presentation to groups, and as a result, I have a PowerPoint on my website, tomwilsonproperties.com. And if you go on there, there's a link that will bring up most of these details. So if you'd like to review it and use it as a guide for your review or writing a business plan, please feel free to do so. A vision statement. Not only what is your product or service or business look like today, but what will it look like in 3 years? What size is it going to be? Where is it located? What's the general market place that it's in? And in the mission statement, you start to talk about market differentiation and market strategy. And when you write a business plan, you want to write it for a layperson, not for specialists in your industry. You want to keep it simple. You want to be able to give it to someone who's not in your business and have it clear for them. So you want to spell out or be careful in using too many acronyms, and don't assume that the reader understands your business that well. And that whole process will force you to keep it focused and simple as well. So when you start talking about your products or services, one of my businesses is Wilson Investment Properties, and we provide high-quality rental properties that have been rehabbed and are already leased to other investors. And our business has defined the product that we're producing or providing as a high-quality product. And the region that we predominantly provide them from is Dallas. And what's our product differentiation? Our products are higher quality than what our competition offers. So those are some of the kinds of specifics that you want to put in a business plan, using our business as an example. What kind of volume do you want to do? How many dollars, or how many products, and what kind of growth? Not just where are you today, but where are you headed? Market analysis.